Honorable J.S. Malema.
Thank you very much, Tobela, Deputy Speaker, Lebadudiga Mukawa, South Africa, Lemu President Renale, the honorable members. We were asking ourselves this morning whether we should participate in this debate or not, because the person who was coming to present the presidency budget vote lacks inspiration himself, speaks like a tired fellow who doesn't believe in anything he says. And to demonstrate that he doesn't believe in anything he says is because everything he has said did not happen. Yesterday, Statistician General released the latest quarterly labor force survey. The picture points to the dire state of affairs, a crisis that you have created. South Africa's real unemployment at more than 42% and at a close to 50% for Black people is at the worst levels of unemployment ever. When you took over in 2018, you said that all the center of your national agenda is creating jobs, especially for the youth. We now know that this was baseless, superficial, and ill-advised ambition. When you took over, 16.3 million people were employed. Today, only 15 million people are employed. More than 1.3 million people lost their jobs, ability to feed their families, put a roof over their heads, or live as active members of society. Since you took over, the number of unemployed people increased from 6.1 million to 7.2 million. You didn't make any progress. The number of discouraged workers remain at 2.9 million, and the number of people who are not in education, training, or employment. Many of these are young people who just loiter the streets, find refuge in drug abuse and crime because they don't have anything to do. You are responsible for all this crisis. But knowing you, having left our people and families fatherless in Marikana, you will not be ashamed of these statistics because you took breadwinners in Marikana. And now you have taken jobs from the breadwinners who are feeding a lot of our people. Another issue that you paraded when you got elected is the land question. When you took over on the land question, you said, I quote,
Honorable Malema.
Resolution.
Honorable Malema, one moment. Yes, what are you raising, Honorable Member?
I'm raising on Rule 85.
Yes.
The members just said the president has taken the lives of people of Marikana.
Yes.
I think it must come to a substantive motion. Thank you.
All right. Honorable Malema, this point of order is sustained. You can't blame the president in the way in which you do. This point order. You can't blame the president.
Deputy Speaker, did I lose you?
Yeah, can Honorable Ndlozi please stop doing what he's doing? Honorable Malema, I'm saying that the point of order is sustained. You can't say what you said about the president and Marikana without a substantive motion in the House.
There's a court ruling on that, Chair. Remember that.
I am saying, sir, we have ruled on this matter before. In the House, you have to bring that with a substantive motion, whether it's in the court or outside, anywhere in a book, quoted. If it's in the House, it must be done with a substantive motion. It's a rule that
Speaker, can we help you?
No, I don't need your help, Honorable Ndlozi. And stop doing that, talking without being asked to talk. You didn't ask for permission to talk in the first place.
May I request permission to speak, Deputy Speaker, with the greatest respect?
No, I've asked a question from the honorable member, and so he's going to respond to me.
I don't know what you want me to do, Speaker. Tell me what to do, I'll do it.
I'm saying withdraw what you said. That's
okay, I withdraw, Speaker.
Thank you.
Again, the issue of the land question, which you paraded when you took over, is one such issue that you don't believe in it. When you took over on the land question, you said, and I quote, guided by the resolution of the 54th National Conference of the governing party, this approach will include the expropriation of land without compensation. Now we are at the end tail of the parliament process to finalize amendments of section 25 of the constitution to allow for expropriation of land without compensation. Your MPs in the committee are zigzagging and cannot make explicit submission that speaks to what you said when you took over. We told you, to be honest, that you have never believed in the expropriation of land without compensation. We told you you are bluffing on the land question. We told you that you will mess up the process because you are not convinced about taking back the land from colonial settlers. As the EFF, we have made our submission. We want the constitution to acknowledge that land, like mineral resources and water, is a natural resources and the common heritage which belong to all our people. We must expropriate all land and place it under the custodianship of the democratic state. Custodianship is not the same as nationalization. When we talk about nationalization, the state takes control of whatever assets and the state uses whatever is nationalized for the collective benefit of the population. However, when we talk about the custodianship, the state does not take the land to use it. Instead, the land is only in the state custody as a conduit or to facilitate for people to access land. With the land in the state's custody, we'll have a strong, clear, confident legislation on land tenure to protect our people from corrupt and scrupulous officials. We are not talking about expropriation of houses. People continue to have full rights to their own homes and other properties built on the land. With the land in the hands of the state, people will apply for the land they want to use it, or if they can't use it, then allow others who can use it to do so. This is the most practical way to address the land question and ensure that even those who want to invest in businesses with security can do so with certainty. We are already doing this in special economic zones. We have said many times before, and we'll repeat it here, that we as the EFF will not vote for a sellout amendment which still speaks of compensation. We will not vote for a constitutional amendment which refuses to acknowledge state custodianship of South Africa's land, because we know that expropriation of land piece by piece will take us more than 100 years to reclaim our land. We want to make it clear to this parliament and to all people of South Africa, Africa and the diaspora, the young, the old, those who died for freedom and those who are still going to be born, that we have tried everything to persuade the ruling party to repossess our land in a peaceful and constitutional manner, and because they are controlled by white interests, they refused. We have agreed to the last extension of the ad hoc committee on amendment of section 25 of the Constitution, and we will not extend again if we do not find each other. The ruling party must be committed and must assign serious and senior people to engage with us on the land question, not those who have thus far not demonstrated any form of appreciation of this historic moment. The land issue, Mr. President, is not something you can politic with. It's a serious, emotive issue, and you either with us or you are with them. We want our land for those who were dispossessed and they were not compensated. We cannot compensate those who took our land without even this long, protracted consultation, which is unnecessary. President, when you appointed your trusted confidante, Jamnandas, as Minister of Public Enterprise, we want you. We told you that you will collapse the minimal strategic capacity of the state to rebuild its capacity.
Honorable Malema, one moment. Yes, honorable member.
As long as you stop my time, I don't have a problem.
On Rule 82, we cannot call each other in first name terms. Thank you.
Sustained. Call whoever you are mentioning if he's a member of the House, but properly, as you know how we do it. Honorable Malema.
Mr. Jamnandas, am I in order?
Proceed, honorable member.
But
You
you
know
said
that-
you will. But you said you will intervene and decisively to stabilize and revitalize SOEs. Mr. Jamnandas has closed South African Airways and SA Express, now Mango Airline. Workers were left stranded, lining up for COVID-19 food reliefs and unable to take their children to school. Denel is on its knees. The last time workers were paid salaries was in May 2020. Today, workers at Denel are owed more than 500 million. Post Office is on a campaign to close more than 100 branches. Many communities depend on the post offices, including to receive SASSA grants. The post office in the many villages and township is in the window through which our people interact with government. People are going to lose their jobs, and old grannies and young single mothers will have to spend high amounts on transport trying to reach the next post office. We therefore demand not even one office of the South African Post Office should be closed, because such will make our people poorer. If you could bail out SAA and the SABC, you must immediately put money to save the post office, because it is on the cold face of providing basic services to our people. You are privatizing Eskom through independent power producers. These IPPs continue to bleed Eskom of its cash. You are aware that the collapse of Eskom, because of the size of its debt, spells problems for all of us, including fiscals, but you continue to gamble with these assets in the bond market. The unbundling of Eskom will cost our country more than 500 million, and knowing how you handle business, this amount will be multiplied by 10 to 5 billion. And we said to you several times, that do not unbundle Eskom. You are unbundling Eskom because you are hell-bent on privatization of energy generation, which primarily will benefit the people and companies associated with you in the past and present, like Seriti, which has been given an regional coal contract of more than 60 billion to supply Majuba power station. In October 2020, the National Treasury rejected Eskom request to extend the South 32 Seriti contract and told Eskom to contract. Eskom, a contract could not be increased without testing the market. But we are told that the contract was extended for another 4 years, increasing the contract by 33%, daylight corruption. You have removed a capture tendency and replaced it with a capture tendency to allow corruption and collapse of Eskom and other state-owned enterprises to continue. Why is no one held accountable for load shedding that has become a common occurrence? You keep saying you want to rebuild the state and government capacity. How are you going to do it when you are dismantling it at all? Your energy policy is problematic. In Sona, you said you intend to decommission coal power stations by 2050, while our government is in the middle of constructing the most expensive coal power station, Medupi and Kusile. Mr. President, South Africa's energy policy has to focus on mixed energy resources, including coal, renewable energy, liquefied natural gas, and nuclear. South Africa's government must form strategic partnership with countries that have proven track record on nuclear energy, and not only focus on West for solution. If China, Russia, Turkey, and the countries in the Emirates have superior technology on extracting electricity from nuclear or from gas, let us build strategic partnership with them and not blindly follow the West misguided on energy policy. Earlier this year, you promised that government will deliver a mass COVID-19 vaccination program that will reach all 60 million South Africans. But we know that your government has mismanaged the rollout program. Only 0.8 of the population has been covered. The population is today fully vaccinated. This is less than 500,000 people. The minister you have entrusted with the COVID-19 rollout is busy looting money through unnecessary public relations, while nurses and doctors do not have access to vaccine. The over-dependence on West countries is part of the reason your government has mismanaged the whole rollout. President,
Honorable Malema, there's a point of order. Yes, Honorable Member.
Chairperson, I'm raising on Rule 85. The
Yes.
member has just said the Minister of Health is looting the resources of the
Yes.
state.
Honorable Malema, sustained. You know you can't do that. Honorable members, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Honorable Malema. Can you keep quiet whilst we are doing a ruling? If it happens to you, you won't like it. Absolutely. Honorable Malema, you know you can't do that, and you know how to do it if you want to do it.
The minister you have appointed, President, it is alleged that is looting money through unnecessary public relations while nurses and doctors do not have access to the vaccine. The over-dependence on the West countries is part of the reason your government has mismanaged the whole rollout. President, you go around complaining that Western countries are holding vaccine. You said this when you addressed the World Economic Forum in January, and you repeated the same cry when you addressed many other various platforms, including this parliament. We know that the China COVID-19 vaccine, Sinovac, has sufficient efficiency rate, and the Chinese are not holding it as other countries, including our neighbor Zimbabwe, is having access to it. We also know that Russian Sputnik is being manufactured in bulk, and the Russians are not holding any vaccine from any country that is willing to engage them, including their local agents here in South Africa. Is the obsession with the American and European COVID-19 vaccine motivated by profit, not blinding you and your government to available alternatives? You have never wanted to entertain. The only thing you do every time you take a platform on vaccine is to say there is a process you are engaged with to approve Sinovac and Sputnik. And that's the only thing you do. The reality of the situation is that the authorities have been given a mandate not to even entertain Sinovac and Sputnik. I asked you the other day if you are involved in transactions or you are involved in ensuring that you save lives. If you are a sensitive person who cares about the lives of Black people, you would have by now be doing a sit-in at the authorities' offices to ensure that both Sinovac and Sputnik are approved. You need as many options as possible, not as many money for your pocket as possible. You are involved in transactions and you are not involved in a program to save life. We want to save.
Honorable Malema, you are repeating allegations against the president in an unacceptable manner, and it is out of order. Withdraw that statement you've just made now.
It's a political statement, Deputy Speaker. It's not an allegation.
Honorable Member, Honorable Member, you withdraw it or you stop talking.
We have been doing so very well so far. Don't bring that attitude.
Listen here, Honorable.
Take it easy.
Don't lecture me. Don't lecture me. Just withdraw. That's all you want to do.
No, but why are you getting agitated? Get water with sugar or something.
I am agitated when you break rules. Simple. You break rules, I get agitated.
Which rule did I break now?
Withdraw.
Honorable Member, just withdraw. And you who's speaking without permission, you don't do that. We don't need your help in the first place. Honorable Malema, withdraw your statement.
Which statement must I withdraw now? I said many things.
Honorable Malema, withdraw your statement. You can't be making allegations against the president in the way in which you do, and you must withdraw it. I'm not going to be your conduit for your statements that are out of order.
I don't want you to be my conduit. I'm saying the statements myself. Why would you be a conduit? I'm not saying them through you. I'm saying them myself. I'm not scared to say them.
So will you withdraw?
People are dying. People are dying. We don't have vaccine yet. The president is obsessed with the European and American vaccines. How is that unparliamentary?
Finally, I'm asking you, if you don't, you're going to be switched off. Is that okay?
Okay, I withdraw.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, you must know that the death of so many people because of lack of provision of vaccine will be blamed on you. You will be a president that has failed to rescue a lot of our people when they needed you. Like in Marikana, when our people needed you, you were not there for them. Today, our people need you to be there for them, to go and buy vaccine for them. When you took over, you pretended to be a very good singer here, and you said, Tumamina. Tumamina, people have tumored you to go and fetch vaccine, but you have not brought back any vaccine.
Must he withdraw?
So, we have...
Can you kick off Honorable Ndlozi with the greatest of respect? Kick him out. Just take him off the platform, please. Please, he must not speak again. One more time. Not anymore today. Please do that. He's disrupting Honorable Malema speaking there.
Can I proceed, Speaker?
Proceed, Honorable Malema.
Mr. President, there is an emergence of an abuse of power. The same thing we saw. And this happens because of some of the people who remain in your cabinet that we have always advised, including amongst others, Mr. Jamnandas. The abuse of institutions of the state to prosecute those who disagree with you. It will haunt you to the grave. It will not only haunt you, it will haunt your children and their children's children. Let us not use the Hawks, SARS, SIU, NPA to settle political scores. No leader should win a debate through an intimidation. I found one of your people crying that they are unable to express themselves because the SIU is on their neck. For no apparent reason. There is a state of intimidation that has emerged in this country. And I want to promise you today that if you are going to use the state institutions to think you can threaten people and intimidate them, you will find us ready. We have gone through that under President Zuma, and we are prepared to go through that even now. There is no amount of state abuse of state power that can suppress political views. And it is not going to happen, Mr. President. It's a strategy that will never work. It's a strategy that will not work even for you. It has not worked before. Let's win debate. Let's win politics through working the ground, not through abuse of money, not through abuse of state power, because abuse of state power is going to come back. The same people you are using today, they will be the ones that are in a commission of inquiry talking about how you abused your power.
Thank you very much. Honorable Hope, you can't be doing that in the first place. That's out of order. You can't be doing that. And it's incorrect to be throwing language like that in the House.
I hope he's a failed politician, man. His career is finished. He's now sending around papers in that parliament. He's a joke in the township where he comes from.
You have no right to be talking the way you do. Nobody gave you permission to do that.
Bye. I'm done. Bye. You can say whatever you want to say. Bye.
Buthelezi.